All right, let's wrap up the show with Trove Topics. Topic number 4. This is
Yeah.
where normally you can be part of the show by tweeting at me with the hashtag Trove Topics. I put out a call every week for, hey, here's who's going to be on the show this week. What questions do you have? This week, as I said, it's a little different, so I've scattered kind of Trove Topics throughout each of the segments because they fit into more what we were going to be talking about. But yeah, let's dive right in. Kyle Stevenson at WhoDatNinja73, who put together the great one of the people who put together the great kind of funny thank you video from the Best
That was
Friends.
awesome.
Asks, what is your happiest moment in gaming?
My happiest moment in gaming. Every New Year's Eve for like a good 7 years, probably like throughout high school and college and a couple of years thereafter, there was a group of us that would always get together. It's my two best friends, Brittany and Michelle, they're sisters. And then like all the kids that we grew up with in their neighborhood, they all had like a New Year's Eve party with like all the parents and everything like that, and it used to be like a neighborhood thing. But we would always break off sometime at the night and play Mario Kart until like the sun came up, and that's like one of my favorite traditions that we had. And it wasn't even like it wasn't something that we ever established. It happened one year and then it happened the next, and we just kept it going. And it's not even anything we talk about of like, oh yeah, we have to get together because we have to play Mario Kart. But it was just one of those things of like everybody made it a priority to like go and be there and do it. And it was just like some of the favorite moments I have of like with those people of like childhood and staying friends with those people and being adults with them, but still being able to enjoy the same things that we used to do and kind of have a throwback of like, remember when we used to do this all the time every summer, and kind of get a little taste of that nostalgia over the break and stuff like that. Sometimes it like evolves into like, now it's Mario Kart the drinking game, which it wasn't always, but
Excellent.
that's like one of my favorite memories of just being able to relive those summers.
So basically, anytime somebody uses a blue shell, everybody drinks.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, the way that we play it is, you have a beer, and you have to finish your beer and the race, or you have to finish your beer in order to finish the race. But because we're responsible adults, you can't drink and drive at the same time, so your car has to be fully stopped if you're ever drinking. So then, yeah, we are responsible adults. You don't drink and drive. So then people have like different strategies of like some people chug it at the very beginning, but then that kind of like impedes your abilities to like judge different things as you're driving. And then some people like race everything first and then chug it at the end, and there's various people that do things in the middle. So that's one of the things that was born out of that.
Excellent. I would say one of my happiest moments, one of the ones that comes to mind, kind of going off of the same like nostalgia vibes, I guess. I grew up being very much the predominant gamer in my family, but my sister and I would occasionally play together and stuff. And she moved away for a couple years, and like she had the same games I had and was playing them with her then boyfriend slash fiance, now husband. But they were on like PS3 and I was on PS4, and so for her birthday a couple years ago, I sent her. It was like a joint birthday slash wedding present, early wedding present. I sent them a PS4 with Borderlands and Diablo, so that like the three of us could play together, even though they were in Tennessee or Texas, and I was in Phoenix. And so we would have like, we didn't do it. We started it and then just didn't stay consistent with it. But for a month or two there, we would like get together on Saturdays and like just play through Diablo or play through Borderlands. And like Joel and I would basically carry my sister along because she's not great at those games.
Yeah.
But she, like, I mean, like both of those games, like Borderlands in particular, where like if she died, one of us could go revive her and like bring her back into the fight and stuff. It was a ton of fun, and it was like, I'm not much of a multiplayer kind of person, but playing with them as kind of like my connection with them, since I've still got like the bulk of my immediate family here, having that kind of connection with them was even though they were, you know, half a country away, was a nice, like, touching familial happy moment.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
At Jared Shu at Queso Bros asks, "What is the last item you lost?" I even
The last item I lost, I got this really cute pair of Kate Spade earrings, and I wore them out. And that was the night that like we ended up drinking like a lot more than we normally do, and that was the night that like I shattered my phone multiple times. I lost the earring. Some bar somewhere in Orange County has it. Makes me really sad. I have the one remaining earring that I have. It sits next to my green arrow that's like on a random shelf in my living room. So every time I look at it, I get really sad of like, oh, I lost that earring. And I don't historically lose things. Like I misplace them, but I always end up finding them. And so I feel like that makes it even worse of like, oh, I can't believe I actually lost it this time.
Yeah.
Makes me really sad.
Another fun fact, Kate Spade and David Spade went to the same high school I did.
Really? Are they related?
Yep. They are.
Are they
brother and
siblings?
sister. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep, there you go. Yeah.
Fun fact.
I joked for a while that I was basically following in David Spade's footsteps because like we were in some of the same clubs at my school, my high school. Like he was like we had at my high school we had the announcers club where like basically for the people who read the morning announcements, like the kids who read the morning announcements. He was in it. I was in it. He would occasionally like because his family's still in town. Like he would occasionally like sneak into the school just to like surprise people and read the morning announcements in the office and stuff sometimes. So
it's so random.
Yeah. And then Kate Spade, his sister. The example the thing I'm gonna say that I lost at PSX. So right before PSX, there was the Friday before PSX, I was like, I'm not doing anything on that Friday. I'm going to go to Disneyland. So I went to Disneyland. A couple people joined, including former guest Ben, Mr. Bento Box. And I bought I don't know if you know this, but I like the pins. I throw them on my bag. So I bought a BB-8 pin in the Star Wars ride, in the Star Tours ride. And it was cool because it had a little like spinny, it had a spinny piece of it, so BB-8 spun around.
Cute.
Threw it on my bag and was walking around PSX with it. Went back to Disneyland on Monday after PSX for the like kind of more formal, kind of funny like community meetup, just hanging out at Disneyland with some best friends. And we got out of Star Tours, and I was like, oh yeah, I got a BB-8 pin and it's gone. It like
oh, no.
So the thing I hate about like their kinds of pins is they have like these crappy little backs. This is a PAX pin of Mysterion, but like the Disney pins have the same kind of like backing there, and
not like the little pinchy ones.
Exactly, they're not pinchy, so they're really easy to pull apart. And I didn't think about that, and so like I just lost the BB-8 pin somewhere in PSX and just bought a new one while I was there. I was like, I bought this guy I bought this exact same pin on Friday, and the guy was like, "Do you have your receipt?" Like I'll like if you have your receipt, I'll just give you a new one. I was like, it's at the hotel. I did not think to bring it with me because I didn't realize I had not I had lost it until literally a minute ago. So yeah, that's the last thing I remember losing of any kind of note. Speaking of, Ben Bellevue at Mr. _Bento Box asks, what are you most excited for in the new year aside from the new job?
What am I most excited for? I feel like a lot of it is like new job related and just like potential and exciting things that are on the horizon. I'm gonna get to do a little bit more traveling, even if it's just for fun. Even though we had to cancel PAX or RTX Australia,
RTX Sydney,
but maybe you're not canceling. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so. I definitely we talked about this a little bit. So I got the refund because we had I booked a flight and hotel. I got the hotel fully refunded, but the fine print on the flight was basically like, we'll give it to you back, but it's only as like flight credit that has to be used by a certain point. And it's like, okay, so now I've got a bunch of money in Virgin Australia credit that has to be used at some point.
Can you use it for like PAX South and stuff, or no?
it is specifically like at least part of it has to be used Virgin Australia, and I was like, I mean, like I'm like so I need to have some portion of a trip to go to Virgin Australia or it gets wasted. And even if it was just regular Virgin doesn't fly out of Sky Harbor, so I would have to like go to another airport and then use that credit to make do of it if I could. But yeah, so I started looking and thinking, I was like, okay, well, either I spend a little bit more money and go, or I just count all of that as a wash and know next time to maybe like be much more firm in what I'm planning to do with that money. So yeah, I started looking the other day. I was like, maybe I'll go and like really just go for the weekend, because we were talking about going for like a week afterwards and like actually seeing like the city and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe I will like try and limit like hotel as much as I can and really just like fly out there. Because I mean, another part of it is like I don't want to take that much time off work, because it means I wouldn't have as much time to take off for something like Kind of Funny Live.
Yeah.
So yeah, jury's still out on that. I might look more into it in the next couple days. And I mean, because I'll definitely need to make a decision sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because I'm also like the week before that is PAX South, so it would be like I would be in PAX South for a weekend, then come back, do a few days at work, and then basically like to get there in time for the event, I would need to leave like Wednesday or Thursday night, because you lose a day traveling to Australia. So like if I left Wednesday night, I would get there Friday morning. So it's like still a couple days of work that I would be missing.
Yeah.
And then I would like basically it would be like, and I'll fly back like Monday, which at least I get the day back on Monday. But then it's like I still need to take Monday off. So there's a possibility. I don't know. Like I couldn't even like quantify the percentage of chance of me going, but there is a chance that I might still go to I might try and go to Sydney. So
Sydney's on my list anyways to go to outside of Kind of Funny Stuff. So we might be able to talk about postponing that to another time later this year, depending on.
Well, I only like it. The credit expires in like June, so I have a very limited window of when I could do it, and given all the other travel that's coming later, it's like if I'm gonna do it now. If I'm gonna do it, Sydney makes the most sense, or RTX makes the most sense. So yeah, we will see where that goes. In terms of what I'm excited for, like it's travel to events and stuff. The prospects of like moving my foot in the door to an actual job at IGN are increasingly like hopeful and real. I haven't talked about it publicly or anything, but like I had a call about the IGN promotion editor position that I had applied for. I don't know, like the posting I think is still up, so I don't know if they're where they're at in making a decision on that. But just to have gotten an interview on it means the world, and it's not something I would have gotten a year ago. So fingers crossed that I will continue kind of making some moves there myself. And 27 can be a banner year for all of us. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna I just have a feeling it's gonna be a good year for a lot of people. There's a lot of people are putting in a lot of work to do a lot of things, and it seems like pieces are starting to fall into place for people. So my New Year's resolution last year, because we had you have your Thanksgiving wall thing. We had basically the same kind of thing for our New Year's party that Kat and I threw. Was basically like, what's your resolution for 2016? And mine was basically like, I want to, like, I did a lot of work in 2015. I want to see the fruit of that labor in 2016, and getting to write for IGN, absolutely accomplish that. So my resolution, even though I'm not a huge resolutions kind of person, is to just continue advancing that and see where 2017 takes me in that regard. And hopefully there will be opportunities in the future for me there. Fiona McKinnon at Zeranix, co-captain of Kind of Funny Extra Life, as you mentioned earlier, asks, when did you two first meet in person? Also, Joey, what supernatural character is Trevor? We touched on this a little bit at the in the Kind of Funny topic 1, where like had a very brief meeting in person at that first Kind of Funny Live, and then probably the next, like the real like us hanging out probably was something like ramen at PSX that year.
Yeah, we ended up at like the same end of the table, I think. Yeah, and then like actually got to have conversation. But
who in Supernatural am I?
I feel so. Here's the thing, Fiona. We've been talking about Supernatural for a while, and ever since we did the Gilmore Girls recap podcast with Nikki and Lauren, V's been like watching Supernatural, and like I like Supernatural. I like creepy, scary, weird things like that, and like I need to get back into it. But I feel like you're Bobby, because
Bobby?
Yeah. So he's like a pseudo father figure to the Winchester boys, so I feel like that's a natural place
Daddy
to put
Bobby,
you.
Daddy Trevor.
Yeah, I feel like that's a natural position that we've fit you into. So it seems like it. He sometimes likes to be a little bit like grumpy, which I feel like you like to play up with us a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I'm just looking him up. Oh,
that's what I think.
Okay. I know this guy.
So.
Jim Beaver. Oh, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I love him in Deadwood.
Well, I haven't watched that yet.
It's a good show.
That ended like a while ago, though, right? It's been off air for
it's
years.
Yeah, it's 3 seasons. It's been off the air for a long time. It was
HBO, Showtime,
HBO or Showtime. I don't remember which one. Yeah, one of those like premium networks. Mm-hmm. Very like Wild West kind of frontiers stuff, but like lots more cursing and sexing than you'd think, or than
the precursor to Westworld
than you normally see in that kind of setting. Presumably I've still not seen Westworld, so I don't know.
I watched the first episode. I liked it, but I haven't had a chance to jump back in yet.
Yeah. Quentin Hoffman at Quantum_Arbiter. Thank you, Quantum, for the shout out on your podcast. Now I feel bad because I'm blanking on the name of it. The retro flashback. I don't remember.
Something like that.
He asks, "How you guys doing?" Also, hugs. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm good. If I'm totally honest, I'm real tired. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week. We're nearing the end here. We're almost wrapped up. Break from Reality is Quantum's podcast. Or Quentin's podcast, Quantum Arbiter. Break from Reality. It's got a a Nintendo NES kind of like art style design on it.
Cute.
But yeah, he had a shout out to me and to Alex in his most recent episode. So wanted to return the favor. Shout out to you, Quentin. Ryan Santilli asks Joey's favorite games of 2016.
Of 2016. Well, obviously Lego Dimensions and Stardew Valley. I'm going to give a huge shout out to That Dragon Cancer, which is like one of my favorite games, I think, at all. I think it just speaks to like the way that video games can be used as like a storytelling medium, and like that game like wrecked me harder than like any other, like more than any other game for sure, but like any other movie, TV show or anything. Like I don't think I've ever cried that hard, and I'm like not really a crier really. But that was just like an incredibly moving experience for me, and like I was really excited to see them win the award at the Game Awards and stuff this year, because I think it was something that like flew under the radar for a lot of people, and it was like a pretty small game, and I think it was only on Steam. I don't think it came out on consoles and stuff like that. But especially if you have like any connection with like cancer or anything like that, I think it's a really important game for people to play this year.
Yeah, I think like having been in the room at the Game Awards there, I think that was like easily one of the most powerful moments was him going up on stage. Like he got a standing ovation, like he's up there, he's crying, and like the audience just started like applauding, was fully in full support of him, and just trying to help him through that moment. And yeah, it was just like beautiful. Like having not played the game myself, it was but knowing about the game and knowing kind of the content behind it, it was incredibly like touching and moving. Him having that moment in the spotlight to kind of express the, like you said, the power of kind of that element of storytelling. Not that you asked, Ryan, but I have I have my own list over on TrevorTrove.com, which you actually, I know, Ryan, have just have seen, and because you tweeted at me about it recently. But my top 10 list is out there now, and we'll be in podcast form eventually with Alex O'Neill. He and I talked about it.
Yeah.
But, like my number one of the year was The Witness. I was a huge fan of that, going kind of doing something different, and being just like one of the best puzzle games I think I've ever played. Did something special, and then like Uncharted was second, and Doom was number 3. We'll just kind of leave it at that. Speaking of Uncharted, now that you're a kind of funny person, like, are you like, you're obligated to play all the Uncharted games, right? That's a thing you have to do.
Yeah, I have the collection sitting over there. I have a stack of things that, like, I'm sure I'm gonna get berated for not having finished. Like, I'm halfway through Uncharted 2, haven't played 3 or 4, still haven't finished The Last of Us, which I know is very controversial. I feel like, yeah, those are the 2 that are like top on my list. Had full plans, took them home for Christmas break, then started playing Stardew Valley, and nothing else happened. So yep. They're taunting me sitting over there on my PlayStation.
Well, that is life. Yeah. Amy Gilroy at AmyGills89 asks, which films are you most looking forward to seeing in 2017?
Ooh. So something that people should probably know about me is I like terrible movies, like awful movies. Like, I love Grease 2. I love, like, unironically, I love Batman and Robin. I think it's like great. Partially because Poison Ivy's in it, and she's like my favorite DC character. And then I really like Pearl Harbor, which also not a great movie. So for that reason, I'm really excited to see the Power Ranger movie because it looks awful. It's like some weird mashup of Power Rangers and the Breakfast Club, but I'm all about it. And I think it's going to be terrible. Super excited about the new Alien movie that's coming out. It's another franchise I really like. What's the one? Is it a 2017 release? It must be. The one with all of like the NASA women that are, it's like set in the 60s, and they're like doing mathematician stuff.
That's I'm pretty sure that's what, so I don't know if you were watching the Golden Globes, but I kept seeing like hidden
figures. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's Hidden Figures, and they're like, it seems like they had somebody screwed up like the ballast or something, because they kept saying Hidden Fences.
Oh.
On,
2 different movies
on the Golden Globes. Yeah, 2 different movies, but yeah, Hidden Figures. So I think it's out maybe in limited release or something, because it was up there for a whole bunch of Golden Globes. But yeah, that's one that certainly kind of intrigues me now that I've been seeing it. Like, I saw it in like that and 20th Century Women. I saw in trailers before La La Land. And I was like, oh, I didn't know about either of these movies before this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Fate of the Furious, since you're apparently not.
No, I mean, that was a given.
Oh,
we had already talked about Fate. Didn't we already talk about Fate and the Furious? Thought we did.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. In terms of, is family dead?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not even remotely excited to see that. I will be, I'm sure. I will be excited to see it if I'm seeing it with friends.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I'm sure you're going to like drag me to see it.
It comes out on Thursday night. Before the weekend, we have to be in San Francisco for Nikki stuff. So depending on when you get in, Thursday night, there's maybe like, I had talked to Damien maybe about seeing it. I had lunch with Yusuf not that long ago, and he was like in to see it. So we could get like a crew of people to go.
Yeah. No, and
Barrett, Alyssa.
Yeah, we go
Sean,
see it with the Kind of Funny guys.
We'll just crash it.
Yeah, we'll just go crash their screening.
Yeah.
Since they're obviously going to be seeing it for their own spoiler cast, I'm sure.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, we'll do. What else am I excited for? I mean, yeah, Power Rangers I'm excited for a lot of the same reasons. Like, it's gonna, like, I don't expect it to be good. I'm hopeful it's good. And I'm sure it will be spectacle. Yeah. But like, because I grew up with Power Rangers, tried to watch Power Rangers not too long ago on like Netflix, and
rough.
Was like, ooh, this is terrible.
Super rough.
Like, yeah, I didn't even get to the Green Ranger episodes, which happened like, 10 episodes in or something like that. So I was like, oof, yeah, this is bad.
I rewatched the movie not that long ago while I was babysitting one night.
Nice.
Ooh. I
Yeah.
was like, man, I have a low tolerance now for movies, but I had a real low tolerance when I was little.
um, Star Wars Episode 8.
That's right.
Gonna be assuming that doesn't get pushed to 2018. Super excited for that. Anything Marvel? I mean, like I will go see DC stuff. I wouldn't say I'm excited about it. I'm hopeful that Wonder Woman is good.
I have very tempered expectations for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Same with Justice League. Yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy, super excited for.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what other like.
The new Beauty and the Beast.
Thor Ragnarok is another one that's coming out. Oh yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. I'm weird about it. Like I will be excited for it. I'm excited to see it, but I'm like, are you really just doing like a shot for shot remake of like the original? And
yeah,
it's like, okay, that's an interesting choice, and I mean, you're gonna make a ton of money for it. Cool.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in Logan?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's another one that like I'm going in with tempered expectations. If it's more Deadpool than Age of Apocalypse, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And I think
because it's supposed to be rated R too, right?
Yeah, I believe that's like I saw a story basically about Hugh Jackman taking like a pay cut to make it an R-rated movie. So yeah, there's potential there, and like the trailer has very like Last of Us kind of vibes to it. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's another interesting one that I don't know, like I'm not excited for it just because I'm not like aware of even when it's coming out at this point, but like knowing it's a 2017 movie, yeah, I'm excited. I will see it.
Yeah.
Like I will see like the big, like even Cars 3. I'm weirdly excited for based just solely off of like the tone of the trailer that they've done with like lightning crashing and stuff. Because like Cars 2 dark. Is one of the 2 Pixar movies I still have not seen. It's like that and the dinosaur one that came out a year ago or so, the Good Dinosaur. Like those are the only 2 Pixar movies I haven't seen. Because I was like, Cars 1 was fine. It is my least favorite of the Pixar movies I've seen. And so I was like, Cars 2 is just seeming to cash in on that franchise. I'm not interested in it. And it seems like they recognize that and are trying to win people back with 3. And so if it continues going down that track, I will be interested to see where that one goes to. But again, it's not like I would not say I'm excited for it, but it's there. So yeah. And then the last question that I have, well, real quick before we get into the last question, I just want to touch in. I was looking at the hashtag Trove Topics, and somebody else used it for an Australian blog called Trove. Somebody trying to get
about the game.
No. So like the blog is just called Trove. It's presumably using the same connotation of Trove as I do.
Yeah.
And they're talking specifically about some kind of funding thing in Australia. It was just like such and like a couple Twitter handles should increase funding for Trove, not decrease it. Hashtag Trove Topics, and that pulled up today. I was like, ha, neat. Because I was like, who's this OzGen person?
Yeah, this doesn't look familiar.
Anybody I know at all. So last question goes to Diego Rivera at Behold the Sack. He asks, what's the best sandwich from McDonald's?
The best sandwich from McDonald's. I feel like you just have to go with like a classic cheeseburger. Like that's
classic cheeseburger.
It's just.
I mean, it's a little simple. I go double cheeseburger.
Oh. Okay, it's not like you're like leaps and bounds above my simple cheeseburger.
Double quarter pounder. Sorry,
okay.
Double quarter pounder. I've never been a Big Mac person because I'm not a tomato person.
I don't like tomatoes either.
Like I will do Wendy's over McDonald's 9 out of 10 times because I can get bacon on a Wendy's burger, and there's like limited bacon options on McDonald's. So
shout out to Wendy's for baked potatoes. I feel like it's a very underrated menu item. Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, they're not great baked potatoes, but they're baked potatoes.
Yeah, it's the only place you can get a baked potato from a drive-thru, I feel like. Yeah. So
very true. Yeah. So yeah, I say double quarter pounder with cheese, no pickles, because I'm not a pickle person.
Not a pickle person, not a tomato person.
Yeah. There's a texture thing there. Well, pickles, it's a little bit of taste, but I'm fine with fried pickles at this point. It leads me to think it's like the liquidy texture of a tomato or a pickle slice that I am not a fan of. So in the same way that like Greg doesn't like soupy kind of things, soupy kind of foods. Yeah. So those are the Trove Topics. Thank you for joining me, Joey, this week. I'm so glad we got to do this.
Seriously.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
It is an amazing year for you already, and I can't wait to see where you go with it. So go ahead and give all the plugs you want to give. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on the internet at Joey Noelle, pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PSN, Xbox Live, literally everywhere. Except for Reddit, which is like so irritating. For the longest time, I thought that like I had gotten the Joey Noelle username and then just forgotten the password. So I tried to like reset it, and then it really wasn't me. I don't know who it is.
So somebody else got the email saying, "Hey, they're trying to reset your password."
Yeah, sorry, you're not getting like hacked by anybody. But yeah, pretty much everywhere. Joey Noelle. Try to make it easy.
And if you have Kind of Funny community issues, you can email her at joey@kindoffunny.com.
Joey@kindoffunny.com. Or if you just want to send me like cute dog pictures, I'm totally okay with that too.
Noted. I will try and add that into my routine of like just spamming your inbox with cute dog pictures.
Perfect.
To live in between all of the like, why isn't this video posted pictures or emails?
It's like, I don't do that part, but I will help you.
I'll see what I can get. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Joey, for joining me. You can follow me at Snarky Starkey on Twitter, or you can follow the show at Trove Talk. You can see whatever I've been rambling about video games over on trevortrove.com. What I've been writing about this week. I wrote about like comfort gaming and how I've just been playing through Dishonored 1 because I didn't want to dive into a new game after like the flurry of end of the year playing a ton of new games. Yeah. I also wrote like Stardew Valley is another one on that list that is just kind of sitting there like I'm probably going to play it because it's just a mindless game I can jump right back into. You can also see my any of my like recent Game of the Year content is still up there, and including something I added after the fact because I forgot about it. But what are my most anticipated games of 2017 are up there, including things like Persona and South Park.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That did not make my list, actually.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is probably like a number 6. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't even make my list.
Ooh.
But no, like, what was it? 5 is basically Legend of Zelda and all of the Switch things.
Yeah.
So seeing how that pans out, and I don't remember like the Uncharted DLC. Mm-hmm. That story is number 4, I think, and then I don't remember the 5th one that I'm forgetting. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn did not make the cut.
Have you played the demo? Did you play it?
I've not. No.
Okay.
I saw people playing it at PSX, but I did not go hands on with it myself.
Just curious.
Maybe if PlayStation has actually, I don't think they do have a presence at PAX South. But I will be there in a few weeks, so I'll play. Maybe I'll play some Switch there.
Yeah. Oh.
Because that's gonna be there. Booyah.
I expect a full debrief on that.
And then
I'm excited.
if I do go to RTX Sydney, it's going to be there as well.
Damn it, Trevor.
I'll just play all sorts of Switch stuff. I will. That's it. I'm going to RTX Sydney just so I can play the Switch. That
is commitment.
Decision made. But yeah, you can. So that's where you can find whatever I've been rambling on about. There will probably be. Like now that I've finished Dishonored, I'm probably gonna write a retro review of that game, and thank you again, Joey, for joining me this week. It has been a pleasure catching up with you and finally getting to see your news shared with the world. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. It's awesome. Yay, friends and good things happening to friends. So until next time, from all of us here at the Trove, treasure your friends.